Shalom, shalom, shalom. You already know what time it is. Once again, it's the Akim Diaspora representing FTL Fatherland Camp. Shalom to all the sincere apostles, double honors to you sincere elders, honors to you sincere brothers, and Rabahab wa Shalom. Peace, blessed salutations to you sincere sisters and everybody pushing this truth across the four corners. Before we get started, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash. All glory, honor, and praise goes to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His Son, Yahweh Shai, who was our big brother, our Redeemer, who died only for the Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, that's sound doctrine and part of the gospel. So I'll just preface this video with stating the undeniable facts that we are at the cusp of thermonuclear war with mega nations exchanging missiles, and that Russia and China's war policy and strategy is not like America's, where you save the best for last. Their strategy is you use the best right up front. All right, so with that being said, we have these Illuminati member Edomite politicians going to Taiwan, stoking the flames of war on purpose because, Esau don't want the blame on his back. And so he needs a mass distraction and to wipe out the people that are against him because he wants to stay in power by any means necessary. All right. And then we have the situation with Russia with the Chernobyl and the other nuclear silos and what have you. And at some point very soon, man, something nuclear is going to happen. So that being said, you want to make sure that you have potassium iodine tablets. It's important to make sure you get some of these. All right. Obviously, you know what I'm saying? We put our faith in Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakak Wadash, but you know what I'm saying? It's important to, have these. So, if I get a scripture, it's called situational awareness, and that's what you need to have, a situational awareness. A lot of people have lost their lives because they don't have situational awareness, or they're scoffers, or whatever the case may be, whatever. But here in Isaiah 33:6, it says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." What are thy times, man? The end times, the tribulation period, Jacob's trouble, where things really kick up another notch and go into shit hits the fan season. So what's the wisdom and the knowledge, man? That's what us sincere brothers have been sharing, and what the Rakak Wadash has been giving us day by day to share with you guys, which primarily we're only here to edify the 1/3, because the 2/3 will not heed the warnings or listen to the counsel. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So the fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. And the fear of the Lord, begins with knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So you can't fear the Lord, which is a form of love, unless you're in this truth, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that those of us that are dealing with this truth and do fear Adawan, Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, that we do all things in decency and in order. And so that's why I'm letting you guys know, because when something thermonuclear like happens, you're not gonna be able to get these, man. When they collapse the economy, you're not gonna be able to get these, man. When it's the purges and the riots, man, whenever they decide to collapse the economy, you're not gonna be able to get these, man. And I suspect that an anti-Mashiach President Trump assassination might be one of their plays, but we'll see. All right, so wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. So if something thermonuclear happens, having a knowledge of potassium iodine tablets will offer some stability when others ignored, or they didn't take heed. All right, and I'm gonna just go right here. I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna shrink this down. And I'm going to read Revelations 8. And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw seven angels which stood before Adawan, and to them Allahayam, Yahweh Yahushai Salakia, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all the saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. So our prayers, if you are the 1/3 Hebrew Israelites, in this knowledge, truth, wisdom, and understanding, fear and fervent fire of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not being lukewarm, serving in your lot diligently, our prayers are like incense. And as for the others, the 2/3 Hebrew Israelites, he ignores their prayers, pursuing of Proverbs chapter 1. And the smoke of the incense which came with the prayers of the saints, which are the 1/3 Hebrew Israelites, ascended up before Allahayam Yahweh Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. That earthquake is because of the bombs hitting. So some things happen in the spiritual realm that it manifests here in the physical. So this angel now, the sealings have taken place pursuant to Revelation 7, and now it's time for nuclear fire, man. And the seven angels which had the seven trumpets prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood. These are the nukes. And they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees was burnt up, and all the green grass was burnt up. So humanity is destroyed. The third part of the Edomites. And the second angel sounded, as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea. That great mountain burning with fire is talking about the kingdom of Mystery Babylon, which is America. All right. And it's cast into the sea, meaning that it's done. It's just looks like a great mountain, and it's just, filled with nothing but nuclear fire. And a third part of the sea became blood. And a third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. So this is basically saying that Esau's kingdom is destroyed, man, along with the 2/3 and the heathens here. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. It's talking about thermonuclear destruction. And where there's thermonuclear destruction, is going to be fallout and radiation. And many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. That's that radiation, man. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is removed. Ultimately, you can't have an empire without those things. Your military might, etc. So as the third part of them was darkened, so Esau has fallen, which is Satan. He has fallen from heaven, which is his kingdom. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. All right, so obviously there's going to be a physical component where, bombs are dropping and it's dark in the skies from the mushroom clouds and the burning and the smoke, etc. And I beheld and heard an angel flying through the mist, saying with a loud voice, "Woe, woe, woe." That's code for World War III. The three woes. Woe means destruction. To the inhabitants of the earth by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the three angels which are yet to sound. All right, and from there, let me run down here to get a specific thing on nukes. Well, let me get this. Revelations 9 and 12. One woe is past. So Revelation 9 verses 1 through 11 is talking about World War I. And then it mentions briefly World War II, and then the rest of it's just talking about World War III. One woe is past. That's World War I. And behold, there come two woes more hereafter. So that's how it mentions the two woes. It doesn't go into detail on World War II. It just goes into detail on World War III, beginning at verse 13. And this is the times that we're in right now. So verse 16 says, and the number of the army of horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. That's the 200 million missiles that are going to hit America, man. These countries have been stockpiling, building since way back, man. Don't get it twisted. All right. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire, and of jacinth and brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, warheads, and out of their mouths issued fire, smoke, and brimstone. That's what bombs do. And by these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire, by the smoke, and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths. For the power is in their mouths and in their tails. Their propulsion systems, their guidance systems, the warheads. And their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. All right. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor walk. Who are these devils that they're worshiping, man? The Edomites, man. The whole world follows after the white man, so-called white man. And he's not white, he's red. White means pure, and they're the unpurest thing on the planet. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, which is worshiping false gods, nor their thefts, man. You know what I'm saying? Stealing people's land, identities, lives, anything. You know what I'm saying? So from there, let me do a time check. 11 minutes, that's good. All right, so from there, wormwood means bitter, and it's going to be bitter when these nukes hit. Especially if you're in a region, or you're getting the wind gusts from a region from where nukes hit. Say a nuke hits in this country, but that wind cycle carries it right on over there to Atlanta. What are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? That's why you need to prepare. I'm going to get Jeremiah 9 and 15. Therefore, thus says Adawan of hosts, the Alahayam of Yasharallah, behold, I will feed them, even this people, with wormwood. So he's going to feed those that go off, man, with bitterness, man. That's just Jacob's trouble, with judgments, and give them water of gall to drink. Yahushai, Malachium, which is the King of Kings, Yahushai, he had to drink the gall too, man, which is that bitter drink, man. All right, so in this final age, man, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be a whole nother wave of hell. A whole nother wave of hell, man. And we're close, man. I'm going to wrap it up real soon. Revelations 15, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up with the wrath of Allahayam, Yahweh, Yahushai, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, man. What is a sea of glass mingled with fire, man? That's talking about those people, that the so-called rapture, but it's really just the Lord taking his elect. All right, during the Jacob's trouble, and they will be on the firmament of the earth, looking through the firmament, which is likened to a terrible crystal, and they'll be looking through it, and you'll be able to see the thermonuclear fire. So he's describing, it's almost like a TV scene, or standing on a glass floor looking down at a burning world. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast. All right, the beast is the kingdom of the Edomites. All right, and dealing with NATO, America, and the EU, and the Confederate nations with them under the under the United Nations, etc. So they had gotten victory over the beast and over his image, his government systems, his psychology, and his dichotomies and religions, and over his mark. So if you're marked with the beast, man, if you took that candy stick, if you took that Capri Sun, if you took that Dorito chip, if you took that chill pill, you're disqualified, man. And over the number of his name, All right, which is 666, man. So if any way, man, you fell in league with patents 060606, man, you're done data, partner. The number of his name stand on the sea of glass. The sea of glass is the firmament of the earth, having the harps of Yahweh Shai. And that's one of the reasons in the spirit I've been playing the harp. All right, so for there, man, I just wanted to touch on a few things. So I got this video I want to play for you guys. Let's do a time check. All right, 5 minutes. I want to play this video. So like the commercial.
What if there was a way to precisely target, shrink, and destroy HCC liver tumors while minimizing damage to healthy tissue?
Hi, Liberty's Teeth here, and welcome back to the Tin Hat Ranch channel. Welcome to part 5 of the Surviving a Nuclear Bomb series, Preventative Medicine. In this video, we are going to talk about potassium iodide, tell you what it is, why you need it, and hopefully answer all of your questions. So far in this series, we have focused on being prepared to survive through a nuclear event through knowledge. This part of the series will begin the portion of the series that will require you to be proactive.
Hey, man, he just said it, man. You know, he appears to be an Edomite. We don't know if he's a confusion interface or not, or if he's dealing or in the truth or not, but he said it, man, knowledge, right? And we'll just talk about Isaiah 33:6.
Potassium iodide is something that you're going to want to have before a radiological emergency. Trust me, it will be unavailable once an emergency begins. Many of you have heard about potassium iodide and its tie-in with a nuclear emergency and are wondering what all the fuss is about. Potassium iodide is probably the only medicine available that can directly thwart one of the effects of a nuclear disaster. In the event of a nuclear bomb or even a reactor meltdown such as Chernobyl, something called iodine-131 is released. Iodine-131 is a byproduct of the nuclear fission of plutonium and uranium. Iodine-131 emits beta particles, and if you remember from earlier in the series, beta emitters are dangerous when ingested or inhaled. Since a high percentage of the fallout from either a bomb or a meltdown is going to be radioactive iodine-131, your risk of ingesting it is quite high. Iodine-131 will also find its way into the food chain and can be ingested by eating products harvested after the event, or in cow's milk. The main issue with iodine-131 is that the human body cannot tell the difference between regular iodine and iodine-131. The thyroid uses iodine to make hormones, and iodine in the body is concentrated in the thyroid. Since the thyroid cannot tell the difference between regular iodine and iodine-131, this radioactive iodine settles in the thyroid and the gland is quickly irradiated, resulting in either a destroyed thyroid or a longer-term exponentially increased chance of thyroid cancer. When other forms of iodine are taken in large quantities, the thyroid will become saturated and will be unable to uptake any more. This is where potassium iodide comes into play. By taking potassium iodide, you flood the body with many times more than normal uptake of iodine. When exposed to iodine-131, after taking potassium iodide, your body cannot store more of it, and it is quickly excreted out of your body via the kidneys before it is able to do its damage. The first step in protecting yourself and your family against these risks is to have potassium iodide on hand in the event of a nuclear emergency. This is very simple. Head to your local drugstore and buy some. In most cases, you will probably have to order it. I recommend Iosat as it is the form that the U.S. government recommends. You can also order it directly from the link below, straight from the manufacturer. It is sold in single-person 14-day dose packets. Adults take 1 pill every day for 14 days. Children under the age of 18 or under 150 pounds can take half a tablet. Infants can take a quarter of a tablet dissolved in milk. The amount you wish to stock is dependent on how you feel your risk might be. For an isolated event, 14 days might be enough. If you're stuck in an area with fallout, you may have to take it much longer. In speaking directly to the manufacturer, they stated that it is safe to take Iosat for an extended period of time, specifically mentioning 6 to 8 weeks. Since the half-life of iodine 131 is 8 days, your exposure will be cut in half every 8 days. An interesting point that I have not been able to find any information on is the fact that iodine 131 will decay into regular iodine, and this will also be ingested. While it will not completely offsite the iodine 131, it can't hurt. In short, I cannot tell you how long to take it. The important fact is that you saturate your thyroid with regular iodine initially. Please remember to take potassium iodide only in a radiological emergency, as there are some possible side effects. So, an event has taken place. When do you take the potassium iodide? My advice would be to take it immediately upon the chance that you might possibly be exposed. Your body will need a few hours to process it, and you want to get it into your system. If you are close enough to see the flash of a bomb, my recommendation would be to take it as soon as possible. In other emergencies, such as a reactor meltdown, I would wait to hear confirmation of the release of fission materials. This brings us to the end of this installment of the Surviving a Nuclear Bomb series. I hope I've answered all your questions. If you have further questions, feel free to comment below and I will answer them.
You know? So there you have it, man. That's the lesson. I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Be of good cheer, like the scriptures say. Actually, you know what? Let me bring that out real quick, man. All right, because this is some heavy shit, and a lot of people have what's called cognitive dissonance. That's where their disillusionment goes contrary to reality, and that leads to people scoffing and not having any faith or belief, or going off or making detrimentally spiritually suicidal decisions, man. But ultimately, that's all due to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and how he wrote the script, you know. But this is Matthew 24:32. Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When the branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. What is summer, man? What is summer? What is super hot? You see what I'm saying? And what's that fig tree? The Hebrew Israelites putting forth leaves, we start waking up again. We know that summer's nigh. We know that nuclear destruction's coming close. So likewise, ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. All right, so we are at the door of the day of the Lord, man. Shit hitting the fan, thermonuclear destruction, calamities, all types of stuff. You're going to be seeing mutant beasts made by the government, cloning projects and deep underground military bases. It's going to be all types of stuff happening, man. You know, and then I'm going to go to verse 7. For nation, this is Matthew 24, of course. For nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. Earthquakes because of HARP, natural earthquakes, and earthquakes because of these nukes and these conventional bombs hitting. All these are the beginning of sorrows. All right. So we're dealing with the beginning of sorrows. All right. But once again, it says here in verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So people say, I believe in Jesus and God. I'm saved. You can't be saved right now, idiot. You know you're saved if you're still alive after shit hitting the fan. You know, he died. At least he was saved. How you died and you were saved? You know? Verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. You know, and don't get too stressed out, man. Don't get too stressed out. So with that being said, man, hey man, these notes, man, These notes are tuned at a high frequency, man, to pierce through the darkness. All right, shalom, 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 man. Be of good cheer, man. Soak up the knowledge, pray, you know, and just keep doing the work, man. Shalom.